This is Bob Kelly, and along with me is Dr. Jerry Graham. He'll be co-hosting the special presentation that we have for you tonight. Scott Steiner, The Early Years, rare footage from Triple L Productions of Scott Steiner in his first year of wrestling. I guess you might say before he was a big star.
Well, absolutely, Bob Kelly. Everybody has to start at the beginning. The longest journey starts with the first step, so on and so forth. And it applied to Scott Steiner as well as every other professional wrestler or any other great person for that matter.
Now, Jerry Graham, how did you first meet Scott?
Well, Scott Steiner started coming around the gym where I was working out at in Toledo, Ohio in the late 80s, wanting desperately to have me train him to be a professional wrestler. Now, Scott was a young, likable kid. I took a liking to this kid. In fact, a lot of people have made the comparison, if anybody's seen Rocky V, about the way young Tommy Morrison took to Rocky Balboa. It was the same type of a situation. Scott was a good kid, and I certainly didn't mind training him and helping him start his professional career.
Okay, you say he was a good kid. Was he a good student?
He was, without question, and I've probably trained more professional wrestlers than anybody else in the business today. Without question, he was my fastest learning student. I could train him over a cup of coffee at breakfast. I would show Scott Steiner a move one time, and 99% of the time, he would have that move perfected the first time I showed it to him.
Well, the fans have always loved Scott Steiner, and I'm sure lots of them who purchased this tape do as well. Have they always loved him? I mean, from the very first?
From the very first. This kid had the chemistry. He had that rapport with the people. He'd look out. This is something you can't be taught. This is something you're born with. And this kid was born with it. He was a graduate of the University of Michigan, a Big Ten champion. He just had all the credentials, the personality. I mean, he was the complete package.
Now, you speak so glowingly of Scott. I happen to know that there was a point in his early years when you wrestled against him.
Well, getting back to the last Rocky movie again, there was a point when the young kid turned on Rocky. There was a point when Scott Steiner turned on me. He started to think that he was as good as me. Bad mistake. He started thinking he didn't need me anymore. So there was a point when I managed wrestlers against Scott Steiner, and there's a point when I wrestled Scott Steiner personally. But that's for later on in the broadcast.
Okay. Now, his famous finishing move, of course, is the Frankensteiner. Were you there when he developed this?
I developed the Frankensteiner for Scott Steiner because I saw his tremendous athletic, acrobatic ability. So usually there's two types of wrestlers. They're your high flyers, your drop kick, flying head scissors type of a man, and there's also the power guys with the press slams and the power slams. But Scott Steiner could do it all. And a move like the Frankensteiner required both tremendous agility and acrobatic ability along with pure brute strength. And that'll bring us into our first match of this tape, Bob Kelly. The first time that Scott Steiner used the Frankensteiner was in a match against the Assassin. And before we go to this tape, I'd like to clarify one thing. I came out to the ring to watch the match. Dick the Bruiser and Terry Sullivan were doing the co-commentary, and they immediately thought I was there to threaten or to menace Scott Steiner in some way. I did not. I was there to get a close-up view of his match with the Assassin.
Okay, well, let's see it. The very first time Scott Steiner ever used the Frankensteiner on an opponent.
From parts unknown, he weighs in at 245 pounds. He is the Assassin. And his opponent from Ann Arbor, Michigan, the new WWA World Heavyweight Champion, Scott Rex Steiner.
What a great champion, a credit to the WWA. Finally, a champion that the people can be proud of, and a champion that the people can believe in. Pull off an upset victory, an upset due to the fact that he was total unknown to the fans here in the WWA. In his very first appearance, signed for a championship match against the Great Wojo and beat him. I think it's safe to say, Bruiser, that the Great Wojo and Dr. Jerry Graham did not do their homework.
I'm scouting this guy. He's a bum. He's a flash in the pan.
They did not.
Total bum. He's a flash in the pan.
Well, some disparaging comments from Dr. Jerry Graham concerning the...
Did he talk that way about Rex Steiner, our champion? Yeah, he's a sour grapes. That's
a bum. Rex Steiner, though, a very worthy and capable champion.
I hate to say it, but I think maybe Graham's pulled in a ringer here with this guy in a mask.
It could be.
Could be a champion from some... I mean, the guy looks...
Could be anybody under that mask. Yeah. No telling. Rex Steiner over the top of the assassin.
You don't suppose that could be Wojo under there?
I don't think
size.
So. I don't think so.
Same size, Terry.
Scott Rex Steiner, a guy possessed with some amazing moves in that ring. Some fabulous athletic ability. And you talk about a solid wrestling background. He started when he was in junior high, was a high school state champion in the state of Michigan, then went on to the University of Michigan where he was a Big Ten wrestling champion. He's only been wrestling for a couple of years, too. Imagine that.
Inside.
There's Dr. Jerry Graham ominously lurking about ringside, a constant threat to any opponent. For any man he manages. Break of the eyes by the assassin. Broke up that move by Rex Steiner, the world champion.
Whoever the assassin is, he sucks him hard, boy.
He does, boy. He's laying some tough ones in there. Graham shouting advice to the assassin from the outside. Big body slam. And Rex Steiner's definitely having his problems here, Bruiser.
I'm kind of amazed that Graham's getting back this fast. This could be another upset right now.
Well, that's why they...
I'll tell you the way it looks to me, this is exactly what Wojo was doing to Rex Steiner.
That's true.
When he beat him.
That's true.
So maybe Graham is doing this. He's in trouble.
Over the top goes Rex Steiner. And a second time. Beautiful drop kicks by Rex Steiner. Boy, he does that well. Flying head scissors.
It's a good thing Graham got out of the way of that.
And another one by the champion. What a great champion he is. Look at that.
Right on his head, Terry.
Beautiful, beautiful. Here comes Graham. Watch out. Graham's on his way into the ring, but Rex Steiner nonetheless got the victory. Graham now challenging the champion.
Yeah.
The assassin right there, 2-on-1 situation here now, as there he is, Dr. Jerry Graham.
No matter what Graham had planned with it, this wrestler here.
Scott Rex Steiner, the world heavyweight champion.
It was to no avail.
Having upset the Great Wojo some time back. And Dr. Jerry Graham with a disgusted look on his face. The wheels
winner and still WWA heavyweight champion, Scott Rex Steiner.
He looked terrific.
What a fabulous accounting he gave for himself, Bruiser, didn't he?
Yeah, Rex Steiner looked terrific. He was completely, it looked like he was outclassed for a minute, but then the guy came right back and pulled an upset to me.
We're going to see it again here. Watch him.
I've never seen this move, Terry. What do you call this?
Well, he's got his legs in sort of a head scissors kind of a position, a front head scissors takedown.
He takes him down like some kind of a reverse pile driver.
Yeah.
Because he did hit on the top of his head.
Yes, sir. Yes,
now
sir.
that I saw it this second time, I thought I saw it right the first time.
He's going to go a long way with that hole, I think. Very innovative young wrestler. He's got the power. He's got the ability, the background. Boy, there's no telling what's in store for the future with it.
Well, I'm sure you enjoyed it, and it was the first time in history that Scott Steiner, known as Scott Rex Steiner then, Jerry Graham?
Well, that was his real name. That is his real name, Scott Rex Steiner, but he took the name Scott Steiner to simplify things, which I think is a good name, and I think it was a good career move.
That was the, well, it wouldn't have sounded so good, the Frank and Rex Steiner. Wouldn't have fit very well, would it, that finishing move? And didn't Dick the Bruiser and Terry Sullivan, who were doing the commentary, didn't they love that move? Huh?
They were surprised, they were shocked. They didn't believe that I was out there to observe my new student. And you might notice I shook my finger in his face there to let him know I wasn't happy with a couple things that he had basically done. But I was keeping my eye on the assassin because I thought there could have been a chance the assassin would have tried retribution after he was defeated. But things ended quite calmly, and I was overall satisfied with one of his first matches of a fine student.
Now, Jerry, the next match we're going to enjoy is against a psychotic maniac who was quite popular some time ago, a fellow named Jason, a bizarre character. Tell us about this guy.
I don't know if popular is quite the right word. Controversial, getting people talking. This man was something that he never met at the University of Michigan when he was at the wrestling team. This man was a brutal killer. He didn't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch about wrestling. But what he knew how to do was how to fight. Now, at that time, I had been involved in an accident, a traffic accident. I had spent a time in a wheelchair on crutches. Not to cry, but that's why I was at ringside doing the color commentary. Now, I would say that my color commentary might have had something to be desired because I got so excited during this match. I mean, I had people call me up saying, boy, oh boy, I don't know whether there was more action at the commentator's table or in the ring. But this match was voted the WWA's Match of the Year in 1987. And one more thing, this Jason was brought on the scene by one of the most insidious wrestlers of all time, Chris Carter. And you'll see Chris Carter working as Jason's manager, second, valet, whatever, during this match.
Okay, I can't wait. Let's watch it right now. Scott Steiner against Jason.
Ladies and gentlemen, this will be the first of your main events tonight. One bout to follow. This event one fall with a 1-hour time limit for the World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. Introducing, first from Ann Arbor, Michigan, at 260 pounds, the heavyweight champion of the world, Scott Steiner. And his opponent is accompanied to the ring tonight by Chris Carter. From Camp Crystal Lake, weighing 300 pounds, Jason. Now, ladies and gentlemen, due to the extreme importance of this World Championship match, the WWA has assigned a special referee for this bout. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Bosek Jr.
That's right, guys. That's exactly right. That's right, Carter. I can get out of this chair, Carter.
A surprise we've got for Chris Carter and Jason tonight as Sam Botek has been specially appointed the referee for this championship match, Jerry Graham.
That's right. This makes me feel so good, Terry. You know, I was scheduled to wrestle against Botek myself shortly before my automobile accident. One of the first visitors I had in the hospital was Sam Botek and his wife, Susan. And since then, we've become pretty good friends. And he's a very good referee. And I think Chris Carter is getting just what he asked for because Sam will call the match fair, and he will not be intimidated by Carter's tactics like some of the other referees might be.
And there's history here between Botek and Carter as well. Some bad blood between them that goes way back.
This Jason, as far as I'm concerned, I said it before, is a lunatic and a psychopath. He has no business being in a ring. Even with Scott Steiner, there's a limit to everything, and I think this is a limit to wrestling. Carter has transcended the bounds of what's right and what's wrong.
Carter claims to maintain control over Jason. I doubt it. I do not believe that Carter has total control over Jason.
Well, I'll tell you what, Scott Steiner has got his work cut out for him tonight. When he had his tremendous series of matches with Wojo, at least he was going against another wrestler.
Well,
Jason, Carter and Botek.
Careful, Sam. Sam doesn't want to get into a physical confrontation here with Carter.
But you notice it was just like I said. Botek will not be intimidated by Carter. If Jason wants to win this match, he'll have to win it on merit, not on intimidation.
The referee has to take full control, and obviously there he's got it.
I guarantee at the University of Michigan, Scott Steiner never wrestled anyone like Jason.
Oh, that's for sure. A true test, as you said, for the World Heavyweight Champion.
Wow! He just pushed him off like it was a nothing. He wouldn't even tie up with Steiner. He just pushed the man off.
In the matches we have seen Jason in prior to this time, they've been very short matches. Oh, again. Jason just hurdles him off.
And Jason is unbelievably strong. Steiner is no skinny person himself. He goes for the headlock.
The common denominator of all the previous matches involving Jason have been the brutality, though.
Oh, he couldn't take Jason down. It's a stalemate. Another stalemate.
Oh, that hockey mask just went flying right out of the ring. And Jason pounding away with the forearms on Steiner.
Steiner's hurt. I think that dropkick made Jason more mad than it hurt him because he's going after Steiner.
Well, Jason has lost that hockey mask. He's lost one of his weapons.
He's headbutting him. Oh.
Steiner out of the ring.
Oh, no, Carter's on him. Carter is on him. Carter's on him, and the crowd is going crazy.
And Jason standing. Just standing in the middle of the ring. Doesn't. Oh, Steiner's been injured. Steiner's been split open.
He's bleeding. And from those headbutts, before he went out of the ring, I saw some red, and now it's opening up like mad.
And Jason pounding away, pounding and pounding at the injury to the head of Scott Steiner.
Just like everybody else Jason has wrestled, he is tearing Scott Steiner apart.
Jason just goes nuts at the sight of blood.
Terry, I hate to say it because of my despising of Chris Carter, but I think we're going to have a new champion before this match is over.
We could see that. That's the way it looks. Caught with a clothesline. The champion is down. The chant coming up from the fans, trying to rally Scott Steiner. Steiner catches a knee that time. Scott Steiner. What is Jason going for here?
Going for a bear hug, and he's going to crush Steiner's ribs. I don't think Steiner can hang on. He's going to have to give up.
Scott Steiner.
He's bleeding, and his ribs are being crushed, and his Jason is a lunatic.
Oh, but Jason threw him down, released the hold. We could have been just seconds away from a change in the championship.
Jason's not even trying to pin Steiner. He's just punishing him.
Ooh,
a clothesline. I don't even know if Jason knows what a pin is.
That's a good point. There's just nobody home up there.
Another
Jason.
slam.
With a big body slam on the champion, Scott Steiner.
Steiner's bleeding. Steiner's hurt. And Jason's getting stronger and stronger. He's got Steiner up like a sack of potatoes. Steiner's never been treated like this before. Oh, that's got to be it. You've got to change the title, Terry. There's a change of title.
Looking for the count to go in here.
What's happening? He's rocking on his shoulders.
Steiner back on his feet. Severely weakened here. His energy supply depleted.
Steiner is just hanging on by sheer willpower.
He's going to have to call on that championship endurance here, Jerry.
Well, this is getting beyond that. When he wrestled Wojo, at least he was wrestling another great wrestler. When he was at the University of Michigan, he had many great wins in the amateurs. Now he's up against a lunatic, a psychopath, which is tearing him apart. Steiner has no defense.
Jason pounding away on Scott Steiner. Steiner falling to his knee.
This crowd is on its feet.
Steiner whipped into the corner. Jason follows in.
He just jumps on him. Jason has no knowledge or no skills in wrestling whatsoever. All he's doing is tearing Steiner apart. Scott has got nothing left. Botek should call this match.
Oh, the champion caught him.
Out of nowhere.
The champion caught him. Boy, did he ever.
He's jerking him up.
The champion whips Jason into the ropes. Over the top.
A big backdrop. Carter is going bananas. He doesn't believe what he's seeing. And to tell you the truth, Terry, neither do I.
Boy, is Rex Steiner handling Jason, or is he? And a
He
clothesline.
clotheslines him. He clotheslines him.
Scott Rex Steiner trying to get the big man up to his feet.
He's going to try for the slam. He's got him up. He's got him up. He slams him.
An amazing feat of strength by the champion, Scott Rex Steiner.
Rex Steiner's not letting up. He's dishing out as much punishment as he took early on. Now he's going to give Jason a power slam.
And down he goes with him. We could get a count. No, Rex Steiner isn't ready for a pin yet.
Rex Steiner looks like he's fighting Jason's fight. He just wants to beat the tar out of him.
Rex Steiner has also vowed to pull that mask off of the face of Jason. And that's another factor the fans are all waiting to see, Jerry.
You got to go back many a year to see a match like this, Terry. Reminiscent of Mark Lewin and King Curtis Iakea. They're tearing each other apart.
Rex Steiner again with his 300-pounder across his shoulders. Going for another power. Oh, a pile driver.
An inverted pile driver.
He jammed his head into that man. Carter moving around as Scott Rex Steiner could be going to that top rope. Going for the superfly. The 1.5 superfly. What an amazing feat it is. And he gets him.
He gets him. He's got him.
He's got a
1, 2, and 3.
He gets it.
Scott Rex Steiner beats Jason in one of the most savage battles I've ever had the privilege of witnessing. And now he slams Carter. And now he's going for the mask. He's going for the mask. He's screaming like a lunatic. Carter's got him. Carter takes out words, can't describe it, I can't follow the action. But Scott Rex Steiner has just won one of the most savage brawls that I've ever witnessed. And now Terry Sullivan is going to try to get an interview with him. What a great champion Scott Rex
Still
is.
champion Scott Rex Steiner. Scott, what an amazing championship victory, and what sweet satisfaction you must have right now. Not only did you pin him, but you kept your promise to the fans and you tore that mask off of that guy's face.
That's right, Terry. I tell you, I'm the people's champion. When I make a promise to my fans, I try my utmost to keep it.
It must have been a very difficult match for you to prepare for, Scott. Usually when you're going up against a man like Wojo, you know pretty much what he's going to come at you with, but you were going up against a Looney Tune there.
That's right. He was tough at the beginning. I was warmed down. Finally got on top of him some fight.
It was an amazing, amazing victory, and you certainly are a man worthy of holding that prestigious World Heavyweight Championship belt. And I know that Chris Carter has got to be a guy right now, as he said a lot. He had a lot of harsh words to say prior to this match with you, as you well know also.
Well, I tell you what, Terry, I don't get along with Chris Carter at all.
He's got into the ring. Thank heavens that Dennis Cass is in the ring also. Rex Steiner is very seriously injured. Terry seems to be getting up. Keep the camera on Rex Steiner. This is horrible. I don't know what kind of powder that was and what substance it was, but Rex Steiner is in pain. He's in immense pain, and he's been injured in the worst possible place to be injured, around the eyes. The fans bringing some water. Bodie, we got some water. Some water. Rinse his eyes out. Get that water in his eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, I've never claimed to be a saint, and I've never claimed to be a Miss Goody Two-Shoes. But what I've just witnessed in this ring, after one of the greatest matches I've ever seen, is the most despicable and deplorable behavior. Chris Carter, you hit and you ran like a sneak that you
We're
are.
going to take an intermission.
It was the most despicable thing. We'll be back after this.
Dr. Graham, wrestling is known for some pretty chaotic finishes to matches and all the things that go on, but I don't know, I've never seen one exactly like that before. Terry Sullivan, the commentator, is trying to interview Scott on maybe one of his great early match victories over this character, Jason.
Tremendous victory.
And then out of nowhere comes Chris Carter. And I understand that that's what led Scott Steiner into those matches that were now quite famous with Chris.
Yeah, well, they were, it was something else, boy. I mean, talk about a cheap shot. That Carter was always been a snake. He always will be a snake. And for him to come into the ring like that and do what he did, especially to slug Terry Sullivan, who's basically a civilian, is beyond me. But at that point is when Scott Steiner insisted that Chris Carter meet him in the ring. And you know, there's an old saying, you pick challengers, you don't pick champions. At that time, Scott Steiner was our WWA heavyweight champion, but he picked the challenger that time. He said, Chris Carter, the ultimate goal of any professional wrestler is to win the championship. I have the championship. Now you want it, you come and get it. And they had a match, which you're about to see right now, which is just the tip of the iceberg for one of the greatest all-time feuds in the history of wrestling.
Let's take a look at it right now. Scott Steiner and Chris Carter.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match is one fall for the WWA Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first the challenger, accompanied by Muhammad Jihad Saad. The challenger is from the Motor City, USA, weighing 248 pounds, Chris Carter.
Carter and Saad with some words to Dr. Jerry Graham sitting here at ringside. That's who they're yelling at.
And making his way to the ring, the WWA World Heavyweight Champion from Ann Arbor, Michigan, Scott Steiner.
What a dandy we have here.
Oh, hold on to your hats. A title bout. The title at stake. Muhammad Jihad Saad, the manager of Chris Carter. Scott Steiner, the oh-so-capable World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion.
Who would have thought that a man that just several months ago was known as the Spirit of America would end up with Muhammad Jihad Saad as his manager and advisor?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Turnaround. Unbelievable.
Referee giving one sober to both men. You better check these two very carefully.
With a metal detector, Terry.
I certainly wasn't the most scientific wrestler in the world, and I certainly bend the rules myself, but I think that going against your own country and taking on a piece of vermin like Saad as a partner and a manager transcends the depths of anything that I would have dreamed possible for Chris Carter.
Hey, I'm not going to take much more of this verbal abuse from Carter. He keeps it up.
Well, Sam, don't let him get to you. Consider the source. Here we go. We're off and running here for the World Heavyweight Championship.
I respect this man.
Well, we've got
words of wisdom by Muhammad Jihad Saad.
Four corners of the ring, and he's got to stand by us.
He claims to be the close personal friend of Muammar Gaddafi, Nabi Berri, and the Ayatollah Khomeini.
Well, he's in good company with his style.
And now Chris Carter.
Yeah.
The fans with a chant of traitor, obviously aimed at Chris Carter.
Well, Carter know who they're aiming that at.
The champion locks up, referee hold with Chris Carter. This is going to be an excellent match. One of the all-time classics here, I predict. Back out of the ropes. Carter turns him around. Referee is right there to call for the break. And Carter lays one in. No clean break.
They're showing me something.
Scott Steiner is not going to put up with anything from Chris Carter.
Scott Steiner shows us all more and more every time he steps into that ring.
Many times I've managed challengers against Scott Steiner. I build up a growing admiration for him. Being a former manager of Chris Carter, I know what both men are capable of, and you're going to see a whale of a match. And hopefully, I'd like to see Steiner come through.
Good move by Carter. Steiner not allowing himself to be put in a position.
Carter trying to amateur wrestle Steiner.
Oh, Carter!
He's right out on the floor, right where he belongs.
Carter fought it. How'd he go?
I assure you, if I had been managing Carter, the last thing I would have had him trying to do with Scott Steiner is to try some amateur moves.
Exactly right.
Carter and Saad licking their wounds on the outside. Carter frustrated at the amazing technical ability of Scott Steiner, the world champion. So why he wears that belt.
Saad is puzzled also. He doesn't know what to do.
The strategy, whatever kind of strategy they may have devised prior to this match between Saad and Carter, obviously not going as planned. Rex Steiner rushing, ready for battle here. Referee orders him to stand back before the count can go in. Finally, reluctantly, Carter returns.
Well, he's got a determined look on his face, but that's not going to win any matches.
Right over the top ceiling. Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful display from Scott Rex Steiner. The fans roaring in appreciation as Rex Steiner takes him down with an arm drag. What's the arm bar on Carter now? Yes, sir.
The moves of Rex Steiner, so clean, so swift.
This Scott Rex Steiner is definitely going to go down in history as one of the greatest world champions the WWA has ever seen.
I agree, 100%.
Carter's dazed, he's confused, and doesn't even know where he's at.
Seems pretty dazed and confused himself just by watching the blinding move.
The tackle. Carter down. Headlock by Scott Rex Steiner.
Rex Steiner just dealing out the punishment. Well deserved.
Of Rex Steiner there with the headlock clamped securely on Chris Carter as Saad on the outside of the ring, as you can see. Very concerned now for the safety and well-being of his man, Chris Carter. And certainly just as badly as Chris Carter wants that title, Saad wants to manage the champion. On for the ropes. Down goes Carter. The tackle is on. Over the top goes Rex Steiner. Oh, crossbody block. In for the count. One.
Rex Steiner, he was airborne.
1-1.
Everything Chris Carter has tried, every strategy, every maneuver, Scott Rex Steiner has been right there to counter him. He's tried wrestling. He's tried dirty tactics. Nothing has worked. Carter is in over his head.
Of course, this perhaps might be where Carter is at his most dangerous when he is in a position like this. Dangerous in terms of some of the tactics he might resort to. Off of the ropes, the tackle, Carter down.
Oh! A clothesline out of nowhere!
Devastating clothesline.
Comments from Muhammad Jihad Saad. Well, that's the first time in this match that his man has had the advantage. Oh! Karate thrust.
Judo thrust, a karate thrust to the throat, and it's illegal.
What a chop.
See how quickly things turn around, Sam and Terry.
Yep.
I had Carter written off not 30 seconds ago.
Rex
now he's in
Steiner.
complete command, and he's going for the suplex.
Rex Steiner has got to be so careful at this point. This could be the turning point.
Goes for the suplex. He gets a good one on Rex Steiner.
I
Rex Steiner
begrudgingly admit that Carter has one of the best suplexes in the business, but only a 2 count.
Saad yelling at referee Terry DeMora about his slow count, which, of course, he doesn't have that, but Saad...
That count was right on the rhythm.
Exactly right.
Carter with a chin lock. He's got that arm right across the windpipe, too. At least that's the way it looks to me. Maybe not. Referee apparently is satisfied with it. Elbows back Carter into the corner. Oh, he caught him right in the nose.
Carter's got a dazed look on his face. Power slam coming up.
Rex Steiner just threw him away.
This could be it.
It could be. It could be.
Oh, only a 2 count. What a match, Sam, I tell you.
Unbelievable.
That little worm Carter's got some guts, I hate to admit it.
He can take the punishment, can't he, Jerry?
And he's taking it right now. Saad is up on the apron.
Oh, and Saad gets one from Rex Steiner.
Rex Steiner
He's brought him into the ring.
Rex
He's going
Steiner's
to work on Saad. He's going to work on Saad. Rex Steiner's forgotten Carter.
Carter from behind, look.
Wait a minute, Carter's got his trunks.
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh, the referee.
He's been hit down.
To his trunks. He's got that powder. He's got that powder.
He's got that in here again. Oh! He's got it in the eyes. Unbelievable. That's here. There's powder all over this.
Caught the powder.
I can barely see the stain.
And it's a disqualification. Rex Steiner wins and retains the championship.
Saad is blinded,
Rex
and no one's
Steiner
coming to his assistance.
chased Carter right out of here, leaving Saad lying in pain in the ring. He caught it flush in the eyes. We'll get it officially from Gary Warrenchak.
I can't say that I'm sorry.
Winner by disqualification and still WWA Heavyweight Champion, Scott Rex Steiner.
Well, I don't think Saad or Carter have heard the last from Scott Rex Steiner after this despicable display.
couple of people coming to assist Saad out of the ring here. What a great ending to that match.
Unreal.
That was something. Whew. We've seen Carter throw that powder before in Rex Steiner, and this was only justice.
Well, that Scott Steiner-Chris Carter match was something, but as they say many times in wrestling, you ain't seen nothing yet, because the return match, I understand, Jerry Graham, was, you think that was something. Wait till you see
That
this.
was just the tip of the iceberg, what you just saw, ladies and gentlemen. This feud between Chris Carter and Scott Steiner is one of the truly legendary feuds in wrestling, because I'm going to give the devil his due. Chris Carter knows wrestling. Chris Carter is a vicious, brutal person that doesn't care if he maims, injures, or cripples an opponent. But I'm here to tell you that he knows his wrestling very well. And where he had a test with a brutal psychotic with Jason, Scott Steiner is now going to have a main event with a consummate professional. At this particular time, I was appalled at Carter's behavior, and I was still sitting at ringside with my crutches, still recovering from my automobile accident, doing the color commentary. And I'll never forget this night as long as I live.
People still talk about this match. Folks who were there and folks who've heard tell about it, and you're going to be able to talk about it now too, because you're in for a treat. Here we go, the second match. Scott Steiner, the rematch against Chris Carter.
Carter, that's right. Rex Steiner's going to take care of my right work. Don't worry about me, Carter. Just worry about Rex Steiner.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event of the evening. One fall with a 1-hour time limit for the heavyweight championship of the world. Introducing from Ann Arbor, Michigan, at 260 pounds, the world heavyweight champion, Scott Steiner. The challenger is accompanied in the ring by his manager, Mohammed Jihad Saad. From the Motor City, at 236 pounds, Chris Carter.
Well, here we go.
Absolutely, the WWA World Heavyweight Championship in the balance. Champion Scott Rex Steiner against #1 contender Chris Carter. This match long in the making. They've had several skirmishes in the past. This one, as we say in the vernacular, is for all the marbles.
It certainly is. Chris Carter, gotta be ranked the leading contender for the World Heavyweight belt. Scott Rex Steiner, there on the left of your screen, has certainly proven that he is a fine, worthy champion. A handshake there.
Rex Steiner better forget about shaking hands and start kicking tail, because this Carter is one dangerous wrestler.
He's a psychopath.
And with Saad in his corner, it makes it worse. Not twice as much, but to the second power times 4.
And there he is, the challenger tonight. Chris Carter, the biggest night of his career here, as he goes for it all. He goes for the gold. Saad finally leaving the ring. We're just about set for the bell. We've got it. And
Here we
action.
go. Here's what we're waiting for. They're off and running.
What a great champion Scott Rex Steiner is, but he will have to be at his best. He's never faced anybody, I don't believe, more downright dangerous than Chris Carter.
He's wrestled better wrestlers than Carter. For instance, the Great Wojo.
Yes.
But he's never been with somebody as dangerous and lethal as Carter, especially since he's now got Muhammad Jihad Saad in his corner.
Scott Rex Steiner did quite a number on Jason several weeks back.
What a great match that was.
And Carter, of course,
Oh! Carter down! Pure muscle. No, Carter. No hair pulling, Carter. No hair pulling. Pure muscle. Pure muscle.
they face off in center ring. Boy, what excitement. You can just feel the excitement in the air here at the Hotel Sofitel in Toledo. Good wrestling move by Carter.
Gut-wrench takedown. Carter's trying to ride him. Here's where Rex Steiner uses University of Michigan.
Oh! So
Gets
long,
a monkey
Carter.
out of Carter. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
I think that's the least of the punishment Carter's going to take tonight.
Saad's giving him some sort of instructions. What? I wouldn't have the slightest idea.
And of course, it was right in this very ring some weeks back that Chris Carter tried unsuccessfully to end the career of Scott Rex Steiner. He tossed that some kind of powder into the eyes of Rex Steiner.
I was here with you, Terry, and he almost blinded him. This powder, this fire, all the stuff that Carter and Saad had started. They've got to stop it! Carter over the top! Everything is to the floor!
Saad runs over, and there you have him. Carter favoring the lower back now.
I'll tell you what I like about this Rex Steiner. He takes his time. He wants revenge. You know he wants to hurt Carter, Terry, but he is meticulously picking his spots, making his moves, playing a waiting game, which is a sign of a seasoned, polished, experienced wrestler.
You can't give too much credit to Scott Rex Steiner. All the battles that he has fought here, that he still proudly wears the World Heavyweight Championship belt. Carter returns to the ring now, moves right in and caught him.
Carter's up. No. Carter breaks up the action.
Carter frustrated again.
Now Rex Steiner's bearing down to that arm bar. Uh-oh. Carter's grabbing the trunks. He's throwing Rex Steiner in. A big tackle. A big arm drag.
And Rex Steiner victorious in that little onslaught. There he is, with some words from Muhammad Jihad Saad at
Don't pay any
ringside.
attention, Scott. Don't pay any attention. Muhammad Saad trying to throw Scott Rex Steiner's timing off.
Here's Saad. Just ignore him.
The man has the mentality of a 3-minute egg. But now back to the match. Scott Rex Steiner still bearing down on that arm bar.
Chris Carter's got to be in a lot of pain now. Gets to his feet, though, or to one knee anyway. Now to his feet. A tackle again coming up. And Carter's down again. Over the top goes the champion. Tripped up there, but came right back.
Big slam, big slam.
And Rex Steiner.
Arm drag.
Rex Steiner is feeling good tonight. You can tell he's in the mood for Carter tonight. He's psyched up and ready.
What I like about this is he's wrestling Carter's ears off. All Carter's tricks, all Muhammad Saad's tricks, nothing's doing any good as Rex Steiner's in total command of this match.
Referee down there watching those shoulders of Carter. The shoulders are on the mat. He gets a 1 count. And Rex Steiner again, right into that arm. Saad right in front of the camera. Many of the people here in the Sofitel, as you can see, on their feet. They can't contain themselves, and I don't blame them.
Well, you're looking at a classic confrontation. A classic confrontation. Scott Rex Steiner is wrestling one hold to the next, what we call chain wrestling, Terry. He'll slam him, he'll drop kick him, he'll arm drag him, one right after the other.
There you see the view over the shoulder of Mohammed Jihad Saad as Rex Steiner cinches in, locks up with Carter. Carter back into the corner. Referee will call the break, but not before Rex Steiner laid a good solid forearm. There's number 2. And there's one for Saad, too. And one for good measure. And one after another. Carter reverses it, though. Oh, caught him with a clothesline right on the side of the neck.
Rex Steiner's in trouble. I hate to see this. I hate to see this because Carter's at his most dangerous when he has his man dazed and helpless. A karate thrust right to the throat. Rex Steiner's still on his feet. Knee lift. I can't bear to watch this.
Rex Steiner is, Saad on the apron. The chant of traitor going up, aimed, of course, at Carter. Rex Steiner's in a bad way now. Chris Carter, the contender here. The championship is on the line. And he is handling the champion well at the moment. In for the count. We've got 2. Carter just went sailing. Carter just went sailing.
He sure did, Terry. He bench pressed him right off of his body.
And Carter.
Rex Steiner still in trouble. And Carter is laying those hard forearms in. The crowd chants traitor. And distracts Carter.
I'm glad to see it, but really he should block it out. Carter with a knee into the chest of Rex Steiner. Might have caught him right in the stomach, knocked the wind out of him there. And through the ropes he goes. Oh, he landed hard on the floor.
He went right to his back.
That one shook this place. Rex Steiner in a dangerous position with Saad only a few feet from him.
No, Scott, don't go after him. Concentrate on Carter. Concentrate on Carter.
Rex Steiner taken over by Chris Carter. Carter with a nerve hold. Digging the fingers right into the nerve clusters. Alongside of the neck. Chris Carter.
Right into the trapezoid muscles.
The chant again of traitor going up from all of the fans in attendance. Rex Steiner.
Scott's still hurt. Carter's coming back. Oh no, I don't want to see this. Oh! Rex Steiner's confused. He's looking around the ring. He's dazed.
You can see Saad urging his man on from ringside.
Rex Steiner's in big trouble.
Carter with some words for Dr. Jerry Graham.
Carter better concentrate on Rex Steiner. Forget about Jerry Graham.
And here comes Saad. You can't really hear Saad. That's not all that unfortunate either, I guess. Jerry Graham, I know it must be very difficult for you to not just haul off and blast him.
Well, I wish I was in my fighting form, Terry, but I'm not. So I'm forced to sit here and take it.
Carter again from behind catches the champion. Rex Steiner down to a knee. And Carter back to that nerve grip.
I'll tell you what really annoys me, Terry, is Carter is using tactics that I taught him when I was his manager. Stay behind the man, the nerve grip, big hammers. It's all there. But one thing Carter hasn't got is a Dr. Graham mentality. And I believe that Rex Steiner, if he goes down deep inside, can overcome the predicament that he's in.
Nor does he have Dr. Jerry Graham in his corner as his manager.
That would be a big plus for Carter, but you'll never see that again.
The fans with a chant trying to bring Rex Steiner to life, and it's working too. Rex Steiner's coming back to life. Rex Steiner hauls off, lays in a couple of good solid elbows, a knee lift, and that sent Carter reeling into the corner. But Carter is right there into the eyes.
I'll tell you, we said it before, in lieu of being redundant, this Carter is dangerous, and he's not letting Rex Steiner off the hook.
Sleeper! Oh, that's it, that's it. If he keeps this on...
Oh! They both went to the floor.
Both men falling flat out of the ring onto the floor.
I don't know if either of them could get back up.
Both of them hit hard on the other side of the ring.
Saad helping Carter up. Rex Steiner left to his own devices.
Saad is over there with Carter.
Carter's back in the ring. I can't stand this. Come on, Scott, get back in the ring. Come on, Scott, get back in the ring. I know I'm supposed to remain neutral, Terry, but I can't stand it.
Carter with Rex Steiner back in there.
Russian leg sweep. Oh! Rex Steiner hit his head. That's got to be it. I hate to see Carter show.
Oh, he kicked out. Whoa.
Back to the nerve hold.
And several hundred people breathe a sigh of relief there.
And I was one of them.
Carter
I can't stand this.
yelling and screaming at Graham again here. This match has reached the fever pitch now. Rex Steiner trying to overcome the effects of this nerve grip. Carter digging in for all his worth.
He bit his ear. He bit his ear.
Rex Steiner in excruciating pain in the ring. Rex Steiner bounces off of his ropes.
He's coming back. Oh!
Ooh, Rex Steiner
Clothesline.
right across the throat.
Oh, Carter's going for a suplex. Carter's got one of the best suplexes in the business. I've got to give credit.
He got him up.
Oh!
And that ring, here comes Sod again. No, he's just...
Rex Steiner kicks his way out.
Got Carter right in the noggin with that one. Knee lift puts the champion on his back. Carter, an elbow. And the champion is reeling. The champion is on the ropes. Carter ready to follow up. He caught him again across the throat.
Rex Steiner's in big trouble, Terry. He's in big trouble.
But this championship fighting form has got to take over on him. We've seen it before.
Carter's been hungry for that title for a long time. He wants it bad.
Cover. We've got 1, 2.
Rex Steiner kicks his way out. He's got fighting heart, but he's in a bad, bad way. He's got the amount of offense, Terry, and he's got to do it soon if he's to have any chance to win this match.
Again, the chant from the fans. You can see Sod at ringside.
Series of close fists.
Carter. Sod telling him not to worry about the fans. Just concentrate on Rex Steiner. Off the middle rope, Carter comes down, and Rex Steiner back flat on the mat. Chris Carter.
He's using those karate thrusts. Demore says they're legal, so he goes on. Back to that nerve hold.
Here comes Sod.
I stand corrected. It was the Arabian chop. Perfectly legal according to Muhammad Jihad Sod.
Carter digging in, giving it all he's got with the belt at stake.
Our friends at Miller Beer and Miller Lite bringing you this championship match. One of the finest I've seen. But Rex Steiner, if he wants to keep his belt, he's going to have, I don't want to keep sounding redundant, Terry, but he's going to have to mount a counterattack. He cannot keep taking his punishment.
One of the great factors of the champion that we have seen before is his recuperative powers. And he's got to call upon him now. He's got to dig down deep. Carter again, I believe, was biting his ear.
I think he bit his ear. Oh! Come on, Rex Steiner! Come on!
Rex Steiner trying to shake off the effects of all the punishment he's taken from Sod. Sod right there with Carter. Oh, he caught him with a boot. Good
Every
boot
time
from
I think
Carter.
Scott's got it, Carter pulls another trick out of his bag.
This battle has been back and forth, a seesaw match here. Backbreaker, and Carter is in for the count. Barely two. That was a good, strong kick out by the champion, too. He's far from defeated.
Well, he's got some bursts left, but every minute the clock ticks is in Carter's favor.
And every second that Carter keeps this grip on him, that's sapping more and more energy from their champion. The World Heavyweight Championship on the line. The champion has been in trouble for several minutes now. And Chris Carter finding it difficult to ignore the fans at ringside. Carter from behind, he's got that sleeper hold again.
This could put Rex Steiner out as weak as he is, the weaker condition he's in.
Rex Steiner can't let it go on. He's got to get it out. And he did. Great.
Carter's
move.
hurt. Rex Steiner's hurt. Let's see who digs down and takes the next move, Terry. I sure hope it's Scott Rex Steiner.
Rex Steiner sizing his man up, but Carter once again on top of him with an eye gouge. Carter just as in a savage mood here tonight.
Carter came to fight. I hate to admit it. Carter wants that belt, and he's doing everything he can, every bit of his experience in his repertoire to beat Rex Steiner.
The reversal.
Oh! A big elbow! Another one! Rex Steiner comes to life! He's got to do it now!
Off of the ropes. He's got him up. Oh!
I think Carter's feet are in the ropes. Rex Steiner doesn't even miss a step. He's right on Carter.
Off of the ropes again goes Carter. He's got him up and a power slam. Beautiful move. That had to take an awful lot out of Carter. If Rex Steiner can follow up. Oh! The referee right down on top of us. Jesus. And the referee literally in our laps. Jeez, he's down, Jerry. We've got a problem, a serious problem here. We're trying to help referee Terry Tamura here. You can see Scott Rex Steiner. He's getting ready to climb those ropes. He's getting ready to climb those ropes. Rex Steiner to the top rope. And here he comes. Rex Steiner is coming. The 1.5.
What's this?
And Zod is in the ring. Zod is in the ring. Zod is in the ring. He caught him. Zod with a blackjack. Carter is on top of Rex Steiner. Carter put on top of Rex Steiner by Muhammad Jihad Zod. Zod is here now with the referee. Zod trying to push referee Tamura into the ring. Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. We've lost the belt. The referee has counted Carter down. Oh, no. No, no, no. This is not right. Jerry Graham, Jerry Graham is climbing up onto the ring apron, ladies and gentlemen, as Zod and Carter congratulate each other. Here comes Jerry Graham up on the ring apron, crutches and all. His leg, of course, still not in good shape at all. Graham is on the ring apron here, trying to get the attention of the referee as Chris Carter wears that belt. The referee has got the blackjack. Jerry Graham told him what happened. That's it. And the referee is whipping that belt. And he's got Scott Rex Steiner's hand raised. Rex Steiner has retained that championship. Rex Steiner has retained that championship. But now, watch out, Jerry Graham. Carter arguing with Graham at ringside. Carter, no! Oh, no! Jerry Graham is hit. He fell right on the leg. He fell on his leg and caught it on the rope. Let's get some help for Jerry Graham. And Carter is stopping on the injured leg. No, no, get him back. Oh, my Lord. Carter just stomped away, knocked him down. Graham fell right on his leg. We've got several wrestlers in here. Several wrestlers in trying to... Well, we've got a bad situation here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Jerry Graham out on the timekeeper's table. We're going to go into the ring, try to get an interview with Carter.
Now, wait just a minute. What is wrong with you? For heaven's sake, the guy's got a broken leg.
Hey, man, I just won the heavyweight championship of the world, and because of this crippled geek, they stripped the belt from me.
That's right, you did not win the belt.
The hell I didn't. I'm the uncrowned WWA heavyweight champion. He got what he deserved. If he ever comes around me again, I'll kill him.
You cannot win the belt with the use of a blackjack. You cannot win the belt that way.
Wow, what a match we have just viewed. That Chris Carter, what's the word I want to
I think
describe?
despicable would be the word.
Despicable, yeah, I guess that's it. To knock you off your crutches like that.
Well, you know, Bob, I'm no goody two-shoes, and I certainly have a reputation for hurting a lot of people myself, injuring a lot of people. That was my reputation. But I certainly would not attack a man that had his leg broken in a car accident in 5 places and knock him down and kick him and maul him like Carter did me. And I'm going to tell you something, not to interrupt you, Bob Kelly, but that Chris Carter I was so happy that I was able to be instrumental in him losing that match. It makes me a happier man today for it.
All right, well, obviously you were on Scott Steiner's side that time, but then something happened. You turned the corner somehow there, and you and Scott weren't on the same team anymore. You were in the other corner in the match we're about to see.
Well, I hate to keep referring back to Rocky V, but like in that picture, when young Tommy Morrison turned on Rocky, Scott Steiner turned on me. He accused me of not giving him a fair contract. He accused me of embezzling money from our payoffs. He accused me of disreputed, unrespectful, devious, conniving things which a man of my impeccable integrity would never consider getting involved with. I have always treated my wrestlers fairly, properly, saw that they got proper payoffs, only took a small percentage of the cuts. But when this Steiner started on me, he started accusing me of this or that, I thought it was time that he learned a little humility. So I brought out my old tag team partner, the man that I personally shared the World Tag Team Championship with 5 times, Bulldog Don Kent. And I says, Bulldog, I want you to take this Scott Steiner and I want you to give him a wrestling lesson. I want you to bust him up. I want you to hurt him. I want him to come out of this match learning to respect his betters. And then, if he takes his beating, if he admits he was wrong, if he apologizes to me on his knees, then maybe, out of the goodness of my heart and with Christian charity, I would have taken him back and given him a second chance. But the man had to be taught a lesson, and that is what led up to this match with Scott Steiner versus Bulldog Don Kent.
All right, well, let's find out if he got taught that lesson or not.
Just let him roll it. Just let the man go.
Okay, we're all set for action here, ladies and gentlemen. A match featuring the World Heavyweight Champion from Ann Arbor, Michigan. It's Scott Rex Steiner against the one and only wrestling's bone breaker from Broken Bone, Arizona at 243 pounds, Bulldog Don Kent, along with his manager, Dr. Jerry Graham. Now we await the referee's signal for the bell. And away we go here. And what a match we have got here, Sam.
Two tough men. One young, one a little more experienced, Terry. It should be interesting to see exactly how this match goes on. Bulldog not exactly appreciating the howls from the crowd.
He's never a very happy kind of guy. Always got something to complain about. Trying to shut out the barks at ringside now as he gets set to square off against the World Heavyweight Champion, Scott Rex Steiner. 2 of the top names in the world of professional wrestling going at it here.
Dr. Jerry Graham ringside, cheering on his partner.
The champion down the first time, Kent over the top, the champion over the top. Kent comes off again, catches an arm drag by the champion. A drop kick puts the Bulldog down. A second time, Bulldog into the corner. Thanks to the champion, Scott Rex Steiner. Shoulder block puts him back again. And he drives the Bulldog back into that corner, and he's about to let him know who's boss here. But the Bulldog breaks that up. I think he caught him with a jab into the eye, Sam.
I think so. Now he's going to give him a little Bulldog punishment.
Bulldog Don Kent forced into the corner again by the champion. Referee orders the break. Rex Steiner lays in a forearm. There's number 2. And we've got 3 in a row from the champion. And the Bulldog wilting under the force of those blows as Rex Steiner finally heeds the word of the referee and stands back. One thing I think, Sam, that I'm seeing more and more from since Scott Rex Steiner has taken the belt is more of that, shall we say, the killer instinct in there.
Yeah, I think you're right to say, too. Well, Terry, he's up against so many brutal opponents. I want that belt so darn bad that he's got to bring it on himself, you know, and that comes along with match after match, you know, and it just comes along with the territory. If he wants to hold on to that belt for a long time, he's going to have to assert himself along those lines, too.
And we're definitely seeing that, whereas a few months back we might have seen Scott Rex Steiner break immediately when ordered by the referee. Now he'll wait until that count goes in. He'll take advantage of it.
I think he's learning to fight fire with fire, Terry.
And that's the championship style. Off the ropes, a collision, the Bulldog down. Here comes Rex Steiner, puts Don Kent down again. Side headlock by Scott Rex Steiner. And there's a great shot of our handsome young world's champion, Scott Rex Steiner. The subject of many young ladies' dreams and fantasies, I'm sure.
He's been getting quite a few fan letters.
He's getting more than you and I, Sam.
I guarantee
A lot more.
A lot more.
Our letter just pours in.
No, he's a very popular young man. And
Rex Steiner maintaining his grip on that side headlock on Bulldog Don Kent.
this Rex Steiner just aggravates the devil out of Dr. Jerry Graham, doesn't he, Terry?
He does. He does. He's definitely turned Jerry Graham's world topsy-turvy.
I think it's more financially than anything else. Now the Wojo's not the heavyweight champion. That breaks into Graham's 90% of the Wojo's take, yeah.
Oh, you got that right, Sam. Oh, the fans are rubbing
They're starting
it
to
now,
chant.
aren't they?
What are they saying? Graham is a loser.
Jerry's a loser. Ho, ho, ho. I think you got it right.
Listen to all these mentally defective people.
Mentally defective or highly observant? I guess there's a couple of schools of thought there. Well, you got it right, though, Sam, when you mentioned the financial aspect, because I think without any doubt and any qualms, Graham would sell out his own grandmother for the right price.
I absolutely agree with you, Terry. He looks out for one person in this world, and that's himself.
Bulldog Don Kent having some trouble here for the champion. Suplex. A high vertical suplex by Bulldog Don Kent. And that had to jar the entire body. And if that suplex didn't, that boot to the chest did.
Don Kent can definitely dish out punishment, Terry, as we've seen many, many times in the past.
The champion trying in vain to get something going for himself here. Now watch Bulldog. He'll continue to follow up, or will the fans get to him with the barking? Rex Steiner, though, with a Bulldog in the corner. And he's hauling off and laying in some intensely heavy forearms. One after another on Bulldog Don Kent. Body slam coming up, or is it? Let's see.
Where's he going with him, Terry?
Oh! That was that. What a move that was. Drove him head first right into the mat with that.
Don Kent is looking up at the lights and doesn't know
Rex
where
Steiner's
he's
going to the top rope. You could see it here, but Graham is there. Graham is there and grabs his foot. Tripped him up, pushed him. Rex Steiner was going for that superfly, but Jerry Graham was right there.
What's Graham doing?
And they're both putting the boots to him here. As the referee calls for the bell, we've got a disqualification here. And both of them working on Scott Rex Steiner. The double teaming going on. Graham and Kent double teaming. Rex Bodie, though.
Here comes Cowboy Rex Bodie
going on. Rex Bodie enters the ring. Coming to the rescue of Scott Rex Steiner.
Graham's getting it now.
He's got a
From the champion.
Rex Steiner tosses Graham out of the ring. It's Bodie going after Kent on the inside. Graham and Rex Steiner outside. And Graham hurled head first into that corner post, the steel post. And Graham has been opened up.
Graham's cut.
He's been opened up thanks to that blow into the corner. And it's all breaking loose now here. Bodie and Kent in the corner. Rex Steiner going after Dr. Jerry Graham.
Graham's bleeding profusely.
He is. He's been cut open by that steel post, the blow he took from
Rex
the
Steiner's
champion.
not through with him yet.
And Bodie lays in a hard forearm. Laying them in one after another on Kent and Jerry Graham. Graham off the ropes. And the monkey flip by the champion, Scott Rex Steiner. And Graham had best bail out of this ring.
Graham's a mess.
Graham is going to be severely injured here because Rex Steiner is going berserk.
He's going to need some stitches, Terry, because Rex Steiner opened Graham up right across the forehead.
There's a lot of memories coming to the surface from Scott Rex Steiner now, but Graham lays in a forearm of his own here. Bodie going at it with Kent on the floor on the outside. Whoa.
What a finish, Terry.
Oh, boy, I guess so. There's the hand of the champion raised here. The referee finally able to restore a little order here. I think more precisely it was Graham and Kent who made a very strategic withdrawal here. We'll get the official decision from our ring announcer, Gary Warrenchak.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by disqualification and still WWA Heavyweight Champion, Scott Rex Steiner.
Another wild finish to a Scott Steiner wrestling match with Bulldog Don Kent. Jerry Graham, about that match.
I don't even want to talk about it. I think that the referee lost control of that match. I think if it had gone to its normal conclusion, Kent would have won easily. And I'm just, I don't even want to talk about it.
No more about it. All right. Well, let's talk about this. Now, you and Scott Steiner, you were his teacher when he first started out in the professional wrestling business. You then became a man in the other corner against him. But through it all, I understand, as we lead up to this match that we're about to see, our grand conclusion, our main event here for the tape, Scott Steiner did one thing that was, and sticks with you as being particularly fabulous in your mind. What was that?
Well, as everyone that follows professional wrestling knows, without question and without fear of contradiction, I can make the statement the most feared man of the decades in professional wrestling was the Great Wojo, the 4-time Olympian, the 13-time national AAU champion, amateur record as long as your arm. He turned pro, and he got a lot of matches, but the big names were terrified of him. Whenever we'd start to negotiate with one of the major promotions, all the stars would get nervous, threaten to go on strike, threaten that if Wojo comes in, they were leaving. Because Wojo was the epitome of wrestling. And what Scott Steiner did, that I respect this man for, and I'll close this tape saying that I respect him for this action more than anything else he's done, is he agreed to wrestle the Great Wojo. And I'm not going to call out specific names because that would be very cheap shot type tactics, but all the fans know who all the top stars are, and I can assure you, every one of them was offered a match with Wojo, every one of them declined a match with Wojo. Scott Steiner was there, he was ready, he got into that ring, and he wrestled the most phenomenal wrestling machine, in my opinion, in the history of wrestling, the Great Wojo.
You showed your respect, I remember on that occasion, by promising that you would come nowhere near the ring, that you would stay completely away from it, and just let this wrestling match happen.
Absolutely. I did not commentate this match. I did not manage this match. I sat in the back row of what was a sold-out arena. I stood in the back row of a sold-out arena. This match was the hottest match of 1988. This match had the people talking. There was people with money in their hands. The fire marshal said, "No, no, you came too late. Go home." And this match, you were going to see wrestling. You're going to see very little, if any, rule breaking. You are going to see two fine wrestlers with tremendous amateur background, tremendous professional backgrounds. You're going to see what I consider to be the consummate wrestling match of all time.
Let's see it. Scott Steiner and the Great Wojo.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final showdown for the WWA Championship of the World. One fall to a finish. The loser of this bout must leave the WWA. Introducing first from Ann Arbor, Michigan, at 260 pounds, the heavyweight champion of the world, Scott Steiner. His opponent from Toledo, Ohio, at 255 pounds, the Great Wojo.
And here we go, the final showdown. I'm Terry Sullivan along with Don King and Sam Botek Jr. And there they are. They've been back and forth now for almost a year. Wojo has been trying all this time to win back the WWA Heavyweight Championship. Says that if he does not do so, not only will he leave the WWA, he'll retire from wrestling. And of course, I'm sure in Scott Rechsteiner's mind, the last thing he has in mind is to leave the fine fans here. Boy, two physical specimens. A collision. Down goes the Great Wojo. Rechsteiner moves right in. The champion slams Wojo to the mat. Rechsteiner drops down with a hard elbow. All his weight behind that. Off of the ropes. Rechsteiner with a drop kick. Wojo down. Back to his feet. What furious action here in this championship bout. Leapfrog over the top. Oh, beautiful, beautiful move by Rechsteiner in for the cover. I don't care where it's at. You're not going to see any better moves than what we just saw there. That's for sure. Boy, you talk about a match where there's literally everything at stake. It's all on the line here for both men, their careers in the WWA. Monkey flip.
It's quite obvious they're both going all out, Terry.
Rex Steiner in for the count, 2 count. Whoa, close one on the Great Wojo.
Look at the moves of both men.
Wojo gonna take a break, gonna take a breather. Rex Steiner might come after him. He does. Holy!
Oh, an unbelievable move by Rex Steiner.
Jeez, that was amazing. Under the bottom rope, Wojo back in. Rex Steiner.
Rex Steiner is going Katie bar the door tonight, Terry Sullivan. He wants it. He wants it bad, and he'll fight to the death for this belt I have in front of me, and so does the Wojo. He wants it bad. This is the battle of the Goliaths, the battle of the gladiators. Who's going to win, Don King?
Well, I don't know. I think Wojo's hurting. I'm not sure where, but he's hurting. He's grimacing. But I can understand why.
This crowd is electrified tonight here at the Grand Ballroom of the Sofitel. The two giants in professional wrestling going at it neck and neck. The hometown boy, the Great Wojo, wanting that belt, knowing if he loses this match tonight, he will never wrestle again. Scott Rex Steiner, the young man who came in from the cold, and now the champion, trying to fight for his life to hold on to that belt.
Test of strength there. The Great Wojo came out on top with that one.
You know, I think the standing room only crowd, they feel the intensity in this match.
Well, there has been a lot of build-up. Very rarely is there so much on the line here and such intense feelings. All during his illustrious reign as champion, Wojo has been a thorn in the side of Rex Steiner, because Wojo just hasn't been the same since he lost that belt to Scott about a year ago.
He truly hasn't, Terry. I've seen him in many places.
Oh, he just put him over. Twice.
Unbelievable! Oh!
Beautiful comeback by Rex Steiner.
Two physical marvels here.
Yes, sir.
This is the match of all matches for the heavyweight championship of the world. They're calling out every move, Terry Sullivan.
And they do have a lot of moves. Both of them have an awful lot of moves in their repertoire.
You got two of the most skillful scientific wrestlers ever here. Of course, the Great Wojo, the Olympic wrestling star.
From the University of Toledo.
Absolutely.
And then
Scott Rex Steiner from U of M, twice Big Ten wrestling champion up north.
Yes.
Reversal.
It's a privilege to watch a match like this.
Absolutely.
Wojo's in trouble now. Rex Steiner's going to put pain on that shoulder, and Wojo does have a weak shoulder. And he's going to work on that prowess of that move.
One important point, gentlemen, the absence from ringside of Dr. Jerry Graham. The man who trained the Great Wojo, managed him so successfully to the championship and through that reign for so many years. Recently, Graham in the camp of Scott Rex Steiner, teaching him some of the more brutal aspects of the sport. But Graham, showing no favoritism here tonight, will not be coming out to ringside.
You're absolutely right.
He's nowhere to be seen.
That's right. He said, let the best man win.
Total neutrality. Wojo working away on that left arm of Scott Rex Steiner. Rex Steiner's got to be in immense pain from that. Feeling that energy sap out of his body here.
The loser will leave this organization.
And as we mentioned earlier, beyond that, Wojo says he'll retire if he doesn't get the belt back. He'll never wrestle again professionally.
Uh-oh.
Double underhook here.
Rex Steiner's in trouble.
Gonna go for a suplex, I do believe.
And a dangerous one at that.
Rex Steiner, though, shifting his weight around, trying to stop Wojo from it. Wojo climbing the ropes. And he got it. Oh! In for the count.
Brute strength.
The fans just in awe of these two exceptional athletes.
The determination of the Great Wojo.
Wojo's on the second rope. Terry Moore trying to count him out. Oh! He hammers him in the neck.
So far, this match has been very much on the up and up as far as the rules go. Any second, though, this could deteriorate into an all-out brawl. Certainly their past matches have been.
Wojo is not going to hold back on anything he's got in his arsenal tonight. He wants this belt, and no matter what it takes, he's going to out-destroy Scott Steiner if he can.
There is no time limit on this one. Uh-oh. Brutal. Brutal. Wojo scooped up by the champion. Steiner's got him in on top of his man. We've got two. A 2 count there.
Uh-oh.
Wojo to the eyes.
Yeah. He's going to start going after some tactics. Rubbing his face here, choking him. Right in our corner here. He wants that belt, Terry. No matter what it takes, he's going to get that belt if he can do it.
Sam, you're so right.
And look at the face on the Great Wojo. Look at the mean look on his face. It's a lean, mean look.
Fighting machine, he is. He wants it badly, gentlemen.
And he's going to punish Steiner now. He's going to try to just sap all his strength with all these blows and all these tactics.
Wojo winding up. Lays one in across the back of the champion, Scott Steiner. Suplex, gut-wrench suplex by Wojo.
Steiner's in pain. His face, just look at the face of Steiner. He is in pain. He cannot take this much more punishment. He's going to have to do something to get the advantage on the Great Wojo. No, oh!
Could be going for the pile driver here.
Oh, no!
Good move by the champion. Boy, you got to give that guy a lot of credit. He saw that one coming and he knew. Into the count, too close to the ropes, though.
No, he's tangled up.
Steiner knew it would be all over there if Wojo got that pile driver on him.
How can these men keep going on at this pace? It's unbelievable, the match we're seeing here tonight.
Wojo, a handful of hair, a handful of tights. Through the ropes goes Steiner onto the floor. Wojo raising his hands in anticipation of victory here as the referee puts the count in on Steiner. However, the belt will not change hands on a count out. So Wojo really doesn't want to let Steiner be counted out here. Wojo's got to go for a pin or a submission for the belt to change hands. There's Steiner laid out on the floor of the Hotel Sofitel in Toledo. And what a ferocious match this has been. Certainly lived up to all of our expectations, I think.
I just can't believe what's happening here. These two men keep going at it, faster and faster. Where's it going to end? Who knows? This crowd.
Wojo down from the ring apron. On top of Steiner.
Oh! Steiner's down into the pole.
Steiner may not return after that. He's going to have to call upon literally every ounce of energy and determination that he possesses to shake that one off.
Come on, Scott Steiner. He wants it back.
And Wojo's going to bring him in the hard way. Setting him up for a suplex.
Going for the count.
For the count, 2 only. Oh, close call for Steiner.
This crowd is going berserk. They can't believe this match.
Wojo setting him up.
Oh!
That big sledgehammer down on top of Steiner. Steiner
had to hurt.
The Great Wojo in control, but Steiner takes him off his feet. The champion moves in. We could see a pin here. Oh, only the 2, though. I thought he might have him. A lot of punishments gone back and forth in this bout. Steiner taking the brunt of it now. All the months and months of frustration. Wojo's calling him to the forefront of his mind here, and that's got to be what's going through him now. This is it. It's do or die.
That's right. In Wojo's mind, this could be it for his whole career.
Backbreaker. The backbreaker, and look at him.
And he's pushing it.
Putting on that pressure.
How much can Steiner take? I don't know.
Not much more.
In for the count. 2 to. Oh!
So close, so close.
Literally a half a second away from a new champion.
Rex Steiner is badly hurt. Will he be able to come back? I don't know.
Oh, Wojo drove him back first into that turnbuckle. And he's going to take him on a ride. There's the second corner.
Gentlemen, bodies are not meant to take that kind of torment.
He's just got him suspended in air.
My goodness.
The Great Wojo going to try to suplex him back in. Or no, he isn't.
Another backbreaker. Oh!
And again, Wojo twisting that spine the wrong way. What a match. Whoa.
Terry Demore, the referee, is asking Rex Steiner if he wants to submit, and he says no.
Wojo presses his man. We've got two.
Oh! Unbelievable.
Well, you talk about a fraction of a second. That was
Heart Attack City there.
I just can't. How much more punishment can these two men dish out to each other? Rex Steiner's got to do something soon. He has taken, for the last 10 minutes, severe damage from the Great Wojo.
He has. Wojo clubbing away on him.
And he wants more. He wants to dish out more.
One thing we know about Rex Steiner, he can take an awful lot of punishment. He's proving that so far, but there's a limit. Everybody's got a limit.
That's right.
And we may be seeing Rex Steiner push to that limit. They lock up in center ring here. The champion taken up. No, he isn't. He blocks it and takes Wojo off.
Oh, here comes Scott Rex Steiner.
In for the count. We've got two.
Again, very, very close, but on the other side. Down again.
Rex Steiner is taking Wojo down. Now.
What a power slam there.
He's damaged Wojo. He's damaged Wojo. Wojo's shoulder might be hurt. Rex Steiner going up to the top rope.
Superfly.
He's going up for the top one.
Oh, cross body block. But no, he reversed it.
Unbelievable!
New champion.
Unbelievable! What we've seen here. The Great Wojo has won back the World Heavyweight Championship. Scott Rex Steiner.
And the new champion of the world, the Great Wojo!
This is Bob Kelly for my co-host Dr. Jerry Graham saying thanks for viewing our tape. We hope you enjoyed it here of Scott Steiner, Scott Rex Steiner, which he was known as when he first started, his real name. If you enjoyed our special feature here today, why, we think you will love Wrestling's Bloodiest Battles. Now, this one features two of Scott Steiner's matches, two you did not see on the tape you've just viewed, including a barbed wire match in which Scott takes a horrible beating. This match with the ring ropes wrapped in barbed wire, of course. It is wrestling that you will not see on TV. It truly has been banned. It's too bloody. In fact, Wrestling World Magazine's Ernie Santilli called it a gore show, not a floor show. So if you'd like to see it, if you think it's for you, why, it's stuff you won't see on Saturday afternoon. And you can get a copy of it by calling or writing what you're about to see and hear. Call the number 1-800-437-0952. That's 1-800-437-0952. Or write to Triple L Productions, P.O. Box 317, Lambertville, Michigan, 48144. That's Triple L Productions, P.O. Box 317, Lambertville, Michigan, 48144. We'll see you on that tape, maybe. So long.